and welcome to the Parking Lot Offsides Debate Show. This is basically a very cheap and dumb attempt to copy Around the Horn by ESPN, and so that's exactly how we're going to do this, by making it dumb and cheap. For
Hey,
those of you
calling dumb?
For those of you who have never seen one of these shows, we'll have questions based on multitude of areas in sports that we will ask our panelists, which I will back out and show you now. We will have a multitude of questions we're going to ask our panelists here on the show. We're going to get their opinion. They'll be able to debate with other people. There is no point system because I can't be asked to have a point system. Another thing I want to address before we start is that you guys can definitely talk in the chat all you want. Because I'm going to be focusing on what they say, I am not going to be looking at the chat at all during this segment, so we thank you for understanding. Anyway, we're going to get started. Panelists, could you please introduce yourself and a quick little tidbit about yourself, starting on my left, which would be Chris.
All right, well, my name is Chris. Ready to do a couple of debates here. We're going to talk some interesting topics. I'm a big baseball fan, big hockey fan, and we'll see how this goes.
Christ, you're boring. Next is Joey on my bottom left.
Well, I'm a huge avid sports fan of all sports, trying to broaden my horizons. I am a huge sports collector. I have pretty much half of my wardrobe is sports related clothes. So, and I pride myself on also being the meme lord of the channel.
He spends his money on sports memorabilia, not a haircut. And now on my bottom.
Hey, you know what? Let's bring back the 70s, baby. Let's bring it back.
Well, you could come here and experience the 70s. There's a gas shortage.
Shut up.
My name is Tanner. I'm a massive Minnesota sports fan, and let's have a good debate.
Yeah, he's a massive Minnesota sports fan, which means he's always constantly in pain.
Hey, dude, not today. Not today.
I'm
wearing this jersey for a reason.
Before we start, if you guys like what you hear and like the enjoyment of these streams like this, please make sure to like the video. Please make sure to subscribe. Comment down below what you guys enjoyed about this debate, times that were very funny, or just what your opinion is. We would love to hear your opinion. Another thing, if you check the description, we have links to multitudes of things that we are involved in. We have links to our socials on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us there for updates on the show. We have our link to our Discord server, which is basically probably one of the smallest servers on Discord that talks sports. So if you want to actually be in a server where there's a very small group, then this is the best one to go to. You'll definitely be heard when you say something in the server. It won't be just thin air. And another thing, a brand new thing we're adding, we have other members' links as well to their channels and where they post their own sports content. So make sure to go check them out as well and subscribe. We're gonna go.
I'll be streaming some hockey games soon, so
we will be starting off with. We're gonna go over to Tanner on this one. The first question we're gonna be covering is basketball. As we know, NBA Finals loves to show us, and I guess the MLB is also a culprit of this, that money is everything, and if you don't have money, you're a broke-ass bitch. So, with us knowing that that's how the NBA, and I guess you could say the MLB is run, do we think the NBA relies on super teams to get not only revenue, but also rely on them to have good content and wins? And Tanner will start us off.
Most definitely. When you have what I believe it creates a narrative. When you have, LeBron James bouncing from team to team to team, when you have him bouncing from team to team, and then he brings over, this guy and this guy, it brings in the revenue, but it also creates a very stagnant finals. I mean, how many times do we have Cavs versus Warriors in a row, and yes, they're making money up front, but what are you gonna? Are you really engaging the fan base?
Thank you very much. One thing I did not address that I'm going to address right now. If I think you're stepping out of line, I will mute you. This is just right. This is basic. This is basically on no other reason except it's whether I want to mute you or not. So you could not be out of line, and I'll still mute you just because I feel like it. I
So
don't
I'm
make
not
the
gonna get to
rules.
talk
Oh
at
wait,
all,
yes,
then.
I do make the rules. Anyway, yes, Joey.
So I'm not gonna get to talk at all, huh?
Well, we're not asking hockey questions, so you won't say any. You won't say anything too embarrassing
Or football questions.
or football questions. What? Speaking of that, Joey, your thoughts on NBA super teams?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know a lot about basketball. It's one of the sports that I find like it's very entertaining to go to a game. It's not fun for me to watch on TV. Like if it's on at on one of the side TVs when I'm at a bar, I'll look at it, I'll watch it because it's fun, it's entertaining. But all the people I know are from the big teams, and they're all either former MVPs or people who were stars years ago or superstars right now. So the answer is yes, because I feel like the average Joe, who's just not really that big into sports, are gonna be like, "Oh, I know LeBron. I know Kobe. And that's because they're just such big names." So I would go one step further and say the NBA doesn't rely on super teams; they rely on super athletes. They rely like without like if you took Anthony Davis, if you took Kobe Bryant, if you took Shaq or or Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, any stars right now, took them out of the league, I don't think you can name a player. I don't think people can name specific people unless you pay very close attention to it and are basically a super fan. You're not going to know most of the people on your basketball team. You're only going to know the stars or some people who just happen to have a really good game, you know? Like I barely know anything about basketball except for what I know about the stars. That's it. Like I know Nikola Jokic deserves to be MVP this year. I know that much because he's played lights out. But other than that, I don't know.
I want to say this, just a little bit of a rebuttal from what Joey said. I think every sport relies on super athletes. I mean, like if you don't have good athletes, your league is really bad, and the competition is not great. There's a reason why people watch the NBA over European basketball. There's a reason why MLS ratings are crap, but the Premier League and Champions League is amazing. So I think everybody relies on super athletes, but I think the biggest thing is just that NBA relies on at least 3 teams being great and then showing them over and over again until you reach finals time. But Chris, your final thoughts on this issue?
All right. So coming from someone who actually had to experience a super team, I mean, yeah, for fans it's good, but it for parity wise, it doesn't bring anything to the table. And this goes back to when the Celtics had their big three with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Yes, it was a good team, but it was expected them and the Lakers in that final to make it that far. It wasn't like back then, that sure, yes, everyone wants to say the Bulls and all that, but the Bulls had competition because you had Michael Jordan, Pippen in Chicago, then you had Stockton and Malone in Utah. You had um Barkley in Phoenix, you had Patrick Ewing in New York, and then in the early 2000s we had Allen Iverson, Chris Webber, and none of those teams did anything. So yeah, we do rely on super teams. Look at the final last year; it was the Lakers. Now the only thing was nobody expected the Miami Heat to go that far because it was a kind of similar to the 2004 Pistons when they beat the Lakers a super team with Shaq and Kobe, and then a team without any All Stars actually beat them in the finals. The Heat were close. They have super play. They have not a super team, but they have notable players with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, but they're not to the ranks of Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Delvin Booker, and nobody wants to see that. Everyone wants to see the big stars only, not a team growing together to beat a super team.
Since you all are having at least close to the same message, I will now just open the floor for last remarks on this topic, if anybody has anything.
How are they going to fix it? How
It's
can
not.
you can't. Like, the NBA has
can't.
dug themselves such a deep hole with super teams that if they were to say, okay, we need to lower the cap, say we need to lower the cap by $10 million for every team, that's going to make, you might get more parity, but people aren't going to care because, oh, you ruined my super team. You ruined,
Right.
You took away my favorite players because you lowered the salary cap by $10 million, so now I don't care because why would I want to watch why would I want to watch my team that doesn't have my superstars on it?
Mm-hmm. That's
Why
the
would
thing
you-
about. Oh, go ahead.
Why do you want to watch a team that doesn't have any superstars on it? You don't. It's boring.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that's the
I
thing
don't
about.
think the NBA. I just don't know how the NBA fixes the problem, but it's a problem that needs to be fixed.
That's the thing with the NBA. They have a salary cap and whatnot, but it's not like football. It's a hard cap. Basketball is more.
Between a luxury tax and a cap.
Yeah, between luxury tax and a cap, it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. If there's one thing I like about the NFL. The NFL doesn't rely too much on super teams. And because they have that hard cap, it's like, okay, I can't afford you. I'm gonna have to let you go.
The NFL stands for not for long.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it
I
stood
thought
for
it
the
stood
No
for
Fun
Not
League.
Fun League.
Yes!
No fun league.
But the XFL is the Extra Fun League. Don't
Extra
forget it. Because in the Extra Fun League, we jump off the top rope and smash you with a fucking chair. Woo! Anyway. Okay. We're going to move on now to, I think, the one that's going to get us the most excited, the most talking, and there possibly could be yelling. We're going to get onto our big topic here. It's in the title. We're going to mention it. Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather had their first press conference, funny enough, in Miami, because that's where they're going to be doing the boxing at Hard Rock Stadium. Chris, if you don't buy a ticket, you're fired from the show. No.
I'm not going to that shit.
Imagine Chris paid all of that fucking money, probably like $200 for a ticket to that dumbass
would.
boxing.
You know what?
match.
I'm gonna take a look.
Don't
Dude,
take a
win.
look.
Dude, wins the fight. I'll fucking buy a ticket. I'll be the sideline reporter, bro.
Anyway.
That sounds fun to me.
Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are going to be boxing. Logan Paul has an 0-1 record when he had a professional boxing event against, funny enough, another YouTuber from the UK who decided to also become a professional boxer, and he beat him, having his record at 1-0, and Logan Paul has an 0-1 record professionally boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is probably one of the greatest boxers of all time with a 50-0 record. They had a press conference where obviously Jake Paul had to be there. And Floyd started talking shit to not only Logan, but also Jake, because it's a press conference. Jake Paul then, at the end of the press conference, gets in Floyd's face, does some normal Jake Paul antics because he's an idiot, and now Floyd almost, at least very close to beating him within an inch of his life. Because he pissed off Floyd Mayweather.
I saw the
First on
tickets.
this one.
You want to know how much the tickets are?
Oh, go ahead.
$400, the cheapest. I am not giving that asshole my money.
Can I go first on this?
Yeah, Joey, you're going first. Is the Paul brothers, I'm talking about Logan and Jake, are they bad for boxing, or is this what boxing needs?
This is what boxing needs. I'm gonna straight up say it. I might just buy the pay-per-view for this, because this is going to be, even if Floyd wins in one punch, I want
Seriously?
to see that happen on
Let him
live.
talk. Let him talk.
I want to pay my hard-earned money to see Floyd Mayweather beat the shit out of
Okay, dude.
is it Logan or Jake this time?
It's Logan.
Logan.
There are in
Out of-
talks though. Jake got in front of his face because Floyd said
Yeah.
in his press conference he would take them both on in the same night.
But I think this is because, you know what? You know what boxing has needed for a long time, and I know avid boxing fans are gonna chew me apart for this, but they've needed some just fun entertainment. And boxing is entertaining, but what I mean is they need people. They just need fun games. They just need something to spark something. Like, just have fun with it. Don't not be the super stiff, super manly macho. Just be like, oh yeah, these guys are gonna beat the shit out of each other. Let's just market it like that. Like, okay, this is gonna be super fun to watch. We're and entertaining. Go with that angle. Don't go with the it's Mayweather versus Paul. Who will win? No, go with this is gonna be fun and exciting to watch. Who's gonna win this fight? Obviously, it's gonna be Mayweather because Mayweather's the better boxer. But at the same time, I can see why somebody would argue this is bad for boxing, but I think it's good for boxing because I think it's going to get people to care. And the truth be told, the Paul brothers have a lot of children fans, so kids might watch this and go, "Oh, boxing is a lot of fun. Maybe I should try it," and then get more kids in the sport, which I'm all for. I am all for reviving a mostly dead sport at this time.
Now rebuttals from either Chris or Dan.
Hold
You know what? No,
me
Chris. Chris is first.
back.
I see his face. Chris is
Hold
first.
me fucking back.
Are you gonna
Oh,
bitch
boy.
slap me or something?
No physical altercations. No physical altercations.
Okay.
Hi, Susan.
Nothing has happened yet. Shut up, Chris. You have the floor. Chris, stop for fucks. We're a professional YouTube channel. 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 I should have titled this "Frank Has Breakdown on Parking Lot Stream." I think that title would have gone way better than what I have fucking on there. Shit.
Okay, as I was
Okay,
gonna say,
Chris.
no, this isn't good for fucking boxing. It's horrible. These guys are fucking clowns. You wanna know how you get respect in boxing? Get a belt or get a freaking gold medal. No, you do not do. This is just clowns pretending to be boxers. There are people that could have been better for these guys. If they say that they're quote unquote good boxers, take on a freaking prospect who's almost about to be in the bigs. Just because he's taking off Floyd Mayweather, who's a has-been at this time. Oh, 50-0, the biggest name in boxing. No, all his fights are freaking rigged. All Mayweather, what does Mayweather do? Run. He runs more than a freaking Olympic athlete. This is horrible for boxing. This is obviously the biggest cash grab of all time. And if you want to pay $50 for that fight, go on ahead. I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money, but I'm not giving those guys a single cent. It is horrible for boxing. I'd rather watch the ESPN fights that are on Saturday nights at around 10, 11, and those are free. It's quality boxing. It's championship fights. It's good people. This is just a stupid cash grab just because of the name. The same shit happened with when he fought Pacquiao. When he fought Pacquiao, those guys were already past their prime. He fought McGregor. The only thing that McGregor
He has
had
the floor.
was
He has the floor. Joey, he has the floor.
McGregor has a bigger mouth than the freaking ocean that separates Ireland and the U.S. And now this whole thing with Paul. No, that shit was scripted. This is bad for the sport. If Paul really says that if they say that they're boxers, don't make it an exhibition. Go for 12 rounds. Make it a title fight if you can. Don't make it an exhibition. Make it worth something. And let's see if he could actually win. And he'll earn my respect if he actually wins a quote-unquote title. That's how you get respect in a sport that is hard to get someone's respect. Because anyone could box. You could just put on the gloves, do some cardio, have an instructor, and that's it. But when do you get your respect? When you win a title.
Joey, I know you want to have rebuttal, but I want to hear Tanner out first, and then we'll open the floor to everyone else. So, Tanner, your thoughts now.
Look, I'm gonna admit I don't know a lick about boxing. All I know is that the Paul brothers are gonna make a shit ton of money from people buying the pay-per-view for this. Mayweather's probably got something under the table. They're gonna get everybody involved is gonna get a bunch of clout, and boxing in itself is in my opinion, is a respectable sport. There was a time where it it was actually where I think it was where big name draws like Rumble in the Jungle, Thrilla in Manila.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were good. Those were good fights. In my opinion, this is just a YouTuber trying to save it, trying to trying to go trying to extend his career.
I will now open the floor to anyone else who would like to put in initial words or rebuttals against anybody else here on this panel.
Okay, Chris, how is this anything like the Mayweather Pacquiao fight? That fight we all knew straight off the bat that fight was going to, like, they hyped that fight up so much that we all knew something was going wrong, and then that, like, the fight itself was bad. It was a bad fight. However, this is Logan Paul. He's like what, 25, 26? Like he's young, and how old is Mayweather?
40 something.
Yeah, and so like Mayweather can still box. Mayweather is still the best boxer in the history of the sport. You can argue Mike Tyson, but in my opinion, Mayweather's just a bit better. And truth be told, I think this is going to be good for the sport. Because boxing is going to realize that this is what they kind of need. They need entertaining fights. They need fights that people will turn their head at and go, "Oh, well, normally I don't watch boxing, but because, it's some people I recognize, maybe I'll take a peek at it. Maybe I'll go to a bar and watch it. Maybe I'll go buy the pay-per-view and have some fun with my friends." The same, like, this is probably going, whether you like it or not, this is probably going to be one of the most viewed boxing matches in the last decade. Like, just because it's going to be that entertaining.
No. I mean,
So,
okay, first of all,
I don't know.
Never say that this guy Mayweather is the greatest when you have Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Joe Louis, De La Hoya, Julio Cesar.
Okay, Joe Louis is pretty cool.
Like, you have better, like, the amount of boxers that are better than these two is better, is more. I've seen better boxers on ESPN that fight way better than these two. There's this guy from Puerto Rico called Edgar Berlanga. I like the guy because he had a record that was broken a couple weeks ago. He's 17-0, 16 knockouts, and 16 of those knockouts were in the first round. That's impressive. Because it's not just, oh, okay, I'm going to run around. No, the point is you got to beat the fuck out of the guy. You got to beat the crap out of your opponent and knock him out. What I want to see is Logan get sent to the Shadow Realm. I want him to be sent to the Gulag.
That's one of
but by someone else.
That's one of men's styles of boxing. Mayweather's style is wear your opponent out and then strike when he has no energy.
Mayweather doesn't strike. Mayweather doesn't strike.
In boxing, if it wasn't, they would say they wouldn't allow that, right?
How many rounds is this fight even going to be? What, 8, 10 maybe?
I'm probably guessing not even 2.
How many? What?
Fact checkers are going on right now.
His last fight was scheduled for 8. Logan Paul's last fight was scheduled for 8.
I know, but if it's 8, sure, but I think it's gonna go to like 2 rounds.
Fact checkers are going right now.
You can't have not even Olympic fights go 2 rounds. Olympic fights go 3 to 4 rounds.
Right now, this is from an article back on. This article was a day ago. It says at this moment in time, if the advertisements can get out of my fucking way. I hate ads. Oh wait, I can't see the. Give me a second. Okay, fine. Bleh. An article posted a day ago said that it will be 6 3-minute rounds.
I don't even bother watching it.
That's a UFC fight.
That's shorter than a UFC fight. UFC fight, it usually is 3 5-minute rounds, which equates to 15 minutes. The 3 6, that's 18 minutes.
Well, it's an exposition match, or it's an isn't it?
Well, I mean, they're
It
both
shouldn't have been.
professionals, so it's still going to count to their
They're
record.
both. So make it count for. Honestly, if they want to put some more oomph on this fight, make it an actual fight. Put something on the line, like what Paul should have done. If he really wants to prove that, hey, I actually want to do this. He's like, I'll fight for one of your belts. He's Floyd Mayweather is a 12-time champ. I'll fight for one of your belts. I'll take one of your belts if I win. That's the point. I'll take the whatever of the whatever weight class he is. I think it's welter, maybe middle.
That'd probably actually make Floyd actually train for this fight.
Yeah, because he's not training for this fight. Is in less than a month. You have to usually between the time that the fight's announced to the fight night, it's usually 2-3 months, not less than a month.
Well, this has been in talks since February, but when it was in talks back in February, like it happened, Logan Paul was pushing it, Floyd didn't say shit, and when Logan was talking about it, he wasn't talking shit about Floyd, he was just talking about this is going to be a great fight, and a bunch of people were saying, well, it's not going to happen because there hasn't been any trash talk. But yet, the minute that this fight got announced, or at least the minute that any talks about Floyd Logan were happening, this was like during the time that Jake Paul just beat what's his face? Not Askren. It's when he just beat the ex-NBA star.
Nate Robinson?
Nate Robinson. This was around the time where he just beat Nate Robinson. He actually did an entire video literally shitting on Floyd. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, instead of going for Floyd, why not just go for, like, Canelo? Canelo's a pretty good name, and he's pretty up there.
There's been rumors that Jake Paul's next fight is going to be not Tyson Fury, but I think it's his brother.
No, yeah, it's Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury's a heavyweight.
Not Tyson Fury, but it's somebody with the last name Fury.
I wonder who, because Tyson Fury is a heavyweight. Because I think Tyson Fury fought
Jake Paul.
Oh fuck! I forgot the guy's name. His nickname's the Bronx Bomber. And he's
is it Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury's a heavyweight though.
Oh no, Tommy Fury.
Unless Jake Paul starts eating nothing but Burger King and In-N-Out every day.
Tommy Fury.
Oh, okay.
Tommy Fury.
Because Tyson Fury is a heavyweight.
Right, he's the half brother to Tyson Fury. Tommy Fury is he a heavyweight? Tommy Fury, oh no, he's a light heavyweight.
Okay, so it's not the one before, but it's the one. It's after middleweight, I think.
And Tommy Fury wants to fight Jake, so they just got to put some paperwork together, and it might happen.
Would that be welterweight?
No. It's so the weight classes I think are flyweight, badmintonweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and then I think there's one before, and then
light heavyweight, and sumo wrestle. Which
sumo wrestle.
Wow, what's wrong with your connection? You got that joke really fucking late. Something's wrong with your
Yeah, I don't
connection.
know. Might have to take out the Wi-Fi.
If you ever put fucking two sumo wrestlers together, just start putting boxing gloves on them. Holy shit, that'd be hilarious. I would watch that. Get two sumo wrestlers with boxing gloves on their hands, start throwing fists. That'd be fucking.
I'll watch that.
I'd watch that.
I'll
Hell
probably
yeah.
die laughing.
Let's go on to our very last topic of today, and Chris is gonna start because he's wearing the jersey. The Oakland Athletics, as they possibly do, I think every fucking year, they told the city of Oakland, give us a new stadium or else. But it's looking more serious this time as they're asking for blessing from the MLB, has it been announced that the MLB have given their blessing for relocation?
I think so.
I believe. I mean, here I'm on Google right now. Let me look.
I read something that the A's bought land in Vegas.
They're following the Raiders.
Of course, Mark Davis supports Athletics relocation. That dumbass.
Yeah, they're gonna play in a Legion.
Major League Baseball. Oh, don't tell me to make an account. Why are all these pages telling me to make accounts?
Because fuck you, that's why.
From what I see, it's pretty much just ESPN saying that they're looking for new places. I don't know.
Well, their Howard Terminal Ballpark hasn't been denied yet, so
But it hasn't been approved.
they're right.
Okay.
But it hasn't been denied yet, so there's a chance it could stay in Oakland.
Yeah. So if the A's move or not, still, besides the point, going on to our debate topic, it's just basically it. A's are told that they might be moving. Should the A's move? And I'm not talking if Oakland. I'm gonna put this out right now. I'm not talking as if Oakland is saying that they're going to they're going to accept their demands and make a new stadium. We are talking. Oakland says, "No, you're stupid. You keep on playing in the Coliseum." Should the A's move?
Yes.
I said Chris.
Oh.
Alright, so if you look at the history of the Athletics in general, they started off in Philadelphia, then they moved to Kansas City, and then they moved to Oakland. So this team knows a thing or two about moving. I mean, they started off in the East Coast and under the West Coast, just like the Dodgers and the Giants. If they move, which again I don't know if they would, I don't have a crystal ball for that. I think it has to be in the West Coast for divisional purposes because I did check out some of the comments. Some of the comments were saying North Carolina, Indianapolis, and I'm just like, no, we're gonna go back to before on 2013 when the AL West was only 4 teams and the NL Central was 6 teams. So it has to just for divisional purposes. It has to be there. So some of the cities that I did see was Las Vegas, which is one of them. Portland, and I said in the chat yesterday maybe Utah. But the favorite is Las Vegas, and I wouldn't mind seeing Las Vegas there. And I did some research with their minor league team. That's funny enough, it's the Oakland A's minor league affiliate, the Las Vegas Aviators. So they opened a stadium in 2019, and they had the best attendance record in the minor leagues. In fact, their numbers were. I'm going to pull it up right now. Okay. Their numbers. So last year, not last year, the season that they could let fans in 2019, they led all of AAA baseball with an average attendance of 9,299 fans. Keep this in mind that one of the worst teams for attendance in Major League Baseball is the Miami Marlins, who on average led 10,000 fans per game and don't even rack a million in attendance for the whole year. So baseball there's fans wanting to watch baseball in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is starting to grow as a sports city. We saw it with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We're gonna see it with the Las Vegas Raiders, who just built a nightclub in the end zone. So forget the black hole. It's gonna be we're gonna have a nightclub instead of the black hole now.
Oh no, it's the Death Star.
It's the Death Star, the
Yeah.
Death Lounge, with a DJ and bottle service. Now I want to go. I want to go to that.
Yeah, but here's my problem with that though. Some drunk idiot is gonna run on the field. I mean, let's all be honest. They're now allowing some drunk idiot to run on the field during the football game if you're given bottle service in a nightclub. Because almost everybody that I know who goes to the nightclub is a drunk idiot.
Question is, that bottle service is going to be really expensive. So you're going to be broke and in jail.
Welcome to Vegas.
But
Okay.
like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing a team in Vegas. Portland might be pretty cool, because I think Portland could make an outdoor stadium, and use their natural landscape as a way to, for views and aesthetics. We've seen it with where the Timbers play, or other minor league teams who use their skyline as a part of the stadium. Because there's one thing that I don't like where the Oakland A's play now, especially now since the Raiders moved, that it still feels like it's not meant for baseball. And you clearly see that even when you play MLB The Show, it's like the hardest stadium to even get a home run in. And yeah, if they make that stadium in Howard Terminal, then that's great. If not, then we're just gonna have to move. And Oakland is gonna be just like LA, a team without a football team again.
Tanner, your thoughts?
I was actually discussing this with some people on Twitter. In fact, a
Oh no.
Las Vegas resident.
Oh no.
They Chris is right. There are people in Vegas who want a baseball team. I'm honestly surprised because I think it's like 20 to 25% of Las Vegas is either millennials or Gen Z, and those two generations, I'm an outlier, but most of those two generations really don't like baseball.
As a part of one of those
And-
generations, yeah, no.
We don't belong in that.
Yeah,
Just me.
no, I'm Gen Z too. And they don't. If Vegas would need to shell out the money for another stadium, either that or somehow ironically convert Allegiant Stadium into a baseball stadium, which I don't see how they're going to be able to do that. But Vegas, Chris is right. Vegas is a burgeoning sports town. For years, we all said that pro sports ain't going to work in Vegas. There's too much to do. The Golden Knights Stanley Cup run in 2018 made fools out of any doubters.
And just wait till they host a Super Bowl.
As Tanner is frozen, Joey, we're gonna move over to you for quick thoughts before Tanner jumps back in.
About the Oakland A's moving?
Or do you think they should move?
I think they should. I think they should stay in California, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they can move, and I don't know where they can move in California, but I think they should definitely stay near Oakland. Maybe not in Oakland, but definitely near Oakland. Just because, yes, they need a new stadium. That part is definitely true. But at the same time, though, that team, and I know this hasn't stopped teams before, but that team has so much history to it. Like, the A's have a lot of history in Oakland. So they should stay
Right.
at the very least near their home. And you know what team well, actually, no, wait. No, yeah, every city I can think of in California has one. The Dodgers, San Francisco, San Diego, Anaheim. So all the big
There's
cities
5
have.
baseball teams in California alone.
2 in LA.
2 of them inhabiting one city, exactly. Well,
3 are.
I want to reiterate this though. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So, sure, that's with an asterisk. With an asterisk,
like
there's
the
2
Met-
teams in LA. Asterisk.
They're like the Mets and the Yankees. The Dodgers are the ones everybody knows.
But here's the thing. It's the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. They're not lying there. They're both from New York. The Los Angeles
Right.
Angels, no. You are like 30 minutes away from LA. It would have made more sense to call them the Mickey's Angels.
I would have just stuck with Anaheim Angels.
California
I was
Angels
thinking-
was good
I was
enough.
thinking
Why
maybe
did they
they could
change
move-
that?
I was thinking, maybe they can move to like to Oregon, or maybe to New Mexico, somewhere in New Mexico.
But you just said you wanted them in California.
And then
I mean,
he realized
I
that
think they should-
California had too many teams.
yeah, and
Well,
I mean, I want them to stay in California, but I don't think Vegas would be a good home for them. I think maybe if they're gonna relocate, maybe give it to a state that doesn't have a major league team, like New Mexico or Oregon.
Well,
Test the market over there.
Vegas is technically a city Vegas is technically a state without a baseball team.
Nevada.
Exactly.
Right. But I just don't think it would work in Vegas. Like, yeah, the
Put a
Raiders have
Major League
worked in
Baseball
Vegas.
team in
Yeah,
Wyoming.
the Knights have worked in Vegas. But like,
Vegas is the last
The only
frontier.
state that's without 1 million people in their population.
No, even better. Put a fucking baseball team in Iowa and let's recreate the Field of Dreams. Boom.
no,
They'll
better
definitely
yet,
sell
We're
tickets.
planning on doing that.
better yet, put it in Rhode Island.
That's
The
Red
East
Sox
Coast has way
territory.
too many teams.
Put it in Maine so that when they hit a home run, there's a chance that it could cross state borders.
No, it could cross
put
into
it
Canada.
put it on the
Exactly.
put it on the tail end of Alaska, or put it near Alaska. That way, a homer has a chance of actually crossing international waters.
Put it in Alaska so that a home run can knock out a penguin.
Or a polar bear. They do have
polar
polar
bears have
up
tough
there.
skins. Polar bears have tough skins.
There was a AAA team in Honolulu for a while.
Yeah, but it's Hawaii. It's the same comments that everybody had about Vegas when the Knights went there. They're like, Vegas, Honolulu, Hawaii is a tourist attraction. It's not a place you go and settle down and have a family, and so you want to see a baseball team there.
Well, honestly, I mean, I knew the Knights were going to be successful. I just had a feeling the Knights were going to be successful in Vegas. I had a feeling.
Anybody else hear cap in that sentence? There's no way you knew the Knights were going to be successful.
There is no cap in that sentence.
Everybody said that when they started that the Knights weren't going to be successful.
We said for a long time.
We thought they were going to suck for a while.
No, I'm not.
We all thought they were going to suck, and then they
I thought they were
going to
suck. I thought they were going to suck on the ice. Yeah, but I thought they were going to do financially well.
Okay. That's different.
We thought they were going to suck, and then they had Marc-Andre Fleury, Ryan Reeves, and a whole bunch of other players.
No,
Fuck.
but I agree with what Joey said there. Joey was talking about
nobodies, but those nobodies were like, "Hey, we don't want to be nobodies anymore. We want to be somebodies." So they took the Caps to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, and then they choked.
They didn't go to Game 7.
Before I cut out, where did I leave off at?
No fucking clue.
You were agreeing with me that they should have moved, and then you just cut off.
Shit.
Did you go on like a whole ramble and was like feeling really confident?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes. Case in point, it's a good move, but I'm surprised they want a team.
You're surprised who wants a team? Vegas?
Yeah, with their population. With their population demographics.
Vegas wanted a basketball team. NBA
Yeah.
said no.
I
and
think
they
it'd be
said,
perfect for. I
NBA
think Vegas would be perfect for a basketball team.
NBA said no, and the Vegas and the candy shop went, fuck it, I'll just take hockey instead, I guess. If I have to have a
Okay.
team.
All right, all right. How's about
You know, if they put a team in Vegas and Seattle, and move Memphis and New Orleans to the east, it would balance out the league. There'd be a new team, and Seattle would get their team back.
Which, speaking of Seattle, when is Seattle having their...
Seattle signed their first player already?
Yeah, I saw that, but who gives a fuck? It's a fucking prospect. When's the expansion draft? Kraken 2021 expansion draft. It just says June
Release the Kraken.
2021. Oh, here you go. Oh! Must select one player from each presently existing club. Clubs have two options for protecting players. Okay. Wait. Is the Vegas? Ah! Vegas Golden Knights will not be participating in the expansion draft.
Because their team is
Lucky
technically
fuckers.
brand new.
Also, to answer your question from Monday, clubs have two options when it comes to teams. By the way, like we said earlier, they protect players. They do not just hand them players that they can pick. And they can protect, they have two options. They either protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goalie, or they can protect 8 skaters in total. So if they don't have good defensemen, but they have really great forwards, they can protect 8 skaters and a goaltender. And yep. There's still, oh wait, no. Kraken officially joined on April 30th. Here we go. NHL expansion draft, which is scheduled for July 21st. July 21st is please, for the love of God. Oh, thank fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm announcing it here. We will be live streaming the NHL expansion draft here on the Parking Lot YouTube show. Don't miss out on that one. July 21st.
Is it a Monday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Ooh.
Alex is just going to have to suck it up.
What
Actually,
happened?
no. He'll probably just sit through the entire show and just talk bullshit on NHL teams anyway.
He's a Kings fan, isn't he?
He's a Kings
not
fan?
like Frank.
No, see, here's the thing. Alex is a Kings fan. I'm not saying he isn't. But he's a Kings fan with a football fan mindset. So he basically...
Is that a thing?
It just matters on how much... Basically, there's different mindset when it comes to fans of teams. I think hockey fans are the ones where they don't particularly hate every franchise, and they're still interested to see how other teams do and care about other teams winning. Football is the opposite side of the spectrum, where if a franchise died, they would start singing and dancing in the streets, fucking yelling out their names, saying "Thank fucking God they're dead." Like, that's basically what I mean by a Kings fan with a football fan mindset.
Ding dong, Ratchet is dead. Ratchet is
He
dead.
hopes like other teams go die in a fucking hole, like shit like that.
Who?
Alex.
Oh.
He was saying is that I told Alex he's gonna have to suck it up because the expansion draft happens to fall on a day that we do our stream, so we're live streaming the expansion draft.
I'm so scared for the expansion draft. Like, no. Because
McKinnon's getting protected, dude.
No, I
McKinnon's getting
think the
protected.
player that I honestly think from the Seattle Kraken, from the Colorado Avalanche, take Samuel Girard.
Yeah, no. So Colorado gets to protect either 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, or 8 skaters in total. So who's getting left in the dust?
Girard. I really think Girard.
But no,
Maybe
it does.
Newhook. Maybe Alex Newhook. Maybe Nick Donald. Depends on if the Kraken want to take a chance on some development players.
But anyway, yeah, no, the expansion draft does fall on a day when we normally live stream. So yes, we will be live streaming the expansion draft. You will be getting our live reactions to it. That's gonna wrap it up for the show today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching the show today. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe for more content. See you all later. Bye bye.
Laters.